Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, three wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. Lead race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night. Engine screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job kitchen finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some. Hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the 191 Motorsports as we are here at Homestead, Miami Speedway. This is a beautiful facility down here in southern Florida, and it's unique, just like just about any other track we go to. It looks like it's just your cookie cutter mile-and-a-half oval, but really it's kind of the entries of turn 1 and turn 3 that are just slightly different. Turn 1, it just feels kind of, it flows just like a normal turn would. Same with the exit of turn number 2, but turn 3 is a little bit more of an open type of entry, and you can really kind of apex it a little bit later, get down there to the bottom if you want to, and then coming out of turn 4 maybe tightens up just a little bit, but you'll see multiple different lines out there. This is a track where the top line a lot of times comes in, and you'll see drivers at the bottom of the track, the top of the track, the middle of the track. To me, never feels quite right. It always feels like it doesn't know what it wants to do. So we'll see if the drivers use 3 lines out there tonight. But you have 2 lines up here in the booth. Carl Hammer joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, this is a pretty fun track to race at.
It's oval.
It's got a road course built into it, if that counts.
I have to get down in there. No, yeah, I mean, I've had a few races here myself, and it wasn't really too bad of a time. So, but obviously over the 1 mile extent of, on the verge of being on the shorter end of the short tracks. But no, it's just like a good kind of a track here. They're usually typically multiple lines to drive on, but depending on the weather in the car and how they're acting tonight, we'll see what line they decide to use here tonight. They're almost done qualifying, just got a couple more seconds left. This looks like Michael Casey is on the provisional pole here tonight, and we'll have to probably need that, being that he was out last week. But qualifying is now complete, and we can go ahead and we can show you our 26 drivers that are on the docket where they qualified, and it's going to be that number 6 Michael Casey on the pole here tonight over the number 18 of Michael Rakes. Levi Poland and Robbie Miner make up row number 2, and then Bryson Anderson and Zach Peer. And back there in row number 3, row number 4, Billy Rickett and Travis Noble. Zane Bierman on row number 5 with Jorge Ledesma. Tanner McAllister and Dale Garner Jr. back in row number 6. Row number 7, Richard Hartman with Tony Brennan. Row number 8, Paul Helms and Douglas Ivey. Row number 9, Andrew Jones and Steve Harris. And the rest of the field here will be back starting with row number 9, Ken Yule and Scott Henderson. Make up row number 10, Heasy Hardy and Chris Melton on row number 11, row 12 with Shane Wielden and Matthew Jordan, and row number 13, James Jones with Wade Inyard.
Good sized field out here tonight with 26 strong, and one of those drivers is DJ Garner Jr., the driver of the 31. So we'll bring in DJ right now. And DJ, we got you up here in the booth. Looks like you're starting about mid-pack here tonight, and kind of, I guess, the story of your season so far. Kind of a mid-pack finishing order here for the most part. Still looking for your first win of the season. How do you feel like the season's gone for you so far with these final 3 races left?
Could be better. I've had decent speed at certain tracks, but I just haven't been able to put it together, or I get caught up in some stuff. I'm showing some good speed here. I was 5th overall in practice. Kind of drive this track like a dirt modified, so it kind of plays into what I normally do.
Now, I did mention that to me this track is kind of 2 lines. The top line, the bottom line. I prefer staying away from the middle line. It just doesn't feel right to me. That no matter what I'm in here, if I'm in the cars, the trucks, it just doesn't feel like the middle line kind of sets with me unless you're maybe kind of using the seam to work around it. How do you feel out there?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I prefer the top. Like I said, kind of drive it like a dirt modified, rip that lip. kind of knock the boards down. But the bottom can work if you need to make a pass. Middle, I try to avoid it, get too loose on exit.
Well, good looking Bush paint scheme out there for you tonight, so hopefully we get to see that thing work its way towards the front and get the chance to talk to the top 3 after the race. But before we let you go right now, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
My mom for watching every week, my wife for supporting me. I can hear my baby screaming upstairs, so she kind of just deals with my hobby.
Well, we appreciate all the wives out there that deal with us doing this week in, week out for sure. We'll let you go out there and hopefully you get some good luck and maybe give the baby something to be happy about.
All right, man. Thank you.
That is the driver of the number 31, Dale Garner Jr. as we're getting ready to get this thing underway. And we got 125 laps on tap. Based on what I've done, kind of my little reconnaissance, it seems like fuel-wise, this is going to be a one-stop race for these drivers. But you're going to want more than one stop when it comes to these tires because they're going to get chewed up. And we're about to find out because the green flag is waving here at Homestead, Miami. Typically, those 2 lines I talked about. If you want to run that low line, you're going to end up, really kind of tearing up that right front. You want to run that top line, that's what's going to happen right there to Zach Peer as the back end is going to want to step out. You're going to wear out that right rear tire, and looks like a lot of fenders are getting worn out here on this incident.
Yeah, that's too many fenders for me, Carl. Just working her way around for the first lap and just kind of stepping out there, on that outside. But we'll go back, take a look here. I got a bunch of names on the docket here. There's some here's with Douglas Ivy, and it's already happened up in front of him. But it's going to slow down, and cars are going to come back up on the track. You see the 64 coming up there. He's going to get involved there with a 17, 27, 65. I think the 3 gets involved as well. 19, 30's trying to squeak through. Harris heavy on the brakes. Got the 72 trying to avoid as well. 21 is squeaking by, but
I think Wade got through that somehow unscathed, sliding sideways. You see Scruffy there at the back. Good to see that he made the field here tonight. He was having some PC issues, but it looks like he limped through that one too. But yeah, it looks like at the beginning of this one, Zach Peer just went into turn number 1. That back end stepped out on him right away and really kind of backed up the field here in turn number 1. But that's exactly what I was just getting at. That high line is definitely viable, but you better be ready to, do exactly what DJ was mentioning before the race here. Kind of drive it like a dirt modified. Your back end's gonna be hanging out there a little bit. You're gonna have to work that throttle, kind of get a feel for when the car has enough grip that you can actually get a little bit more throttle and a little bit more into it. It's not just one of light switching it. You have to work that throttle on that top line. It can be fast, but that's something that can happen very fast as well. You can lose it and have some big incidents with quite a few of his competitors there. Look, we'll get 6 meatballs, all of them getting cleared here, but there's going to be a lot of cars that come in to get some repairs. And it looks like Pierre, maybe not using a fast repair. He's got a bunch of damage, got a big old bite taken out of the burger out of that back end, but I guess it's enough that he's going to try and charge along here.
Yeah, definitely a rough ride for some of the drivers back there, but some are going to wait a little bit. Obviously, you can sit in there and get some repairs done. Maybe they're not very long. We do have a cop caution coming up here too in about 22 laps. So, maybe we'd be able to, work that pit crew just a little bit. But 27's sitting there getting awful close where he's going to need to take off here shortly. Or he's going to end up throwing a lap down. But right now, Michael Casey still will retain the lead here after the first start of the race.
Well, I think that the big problem too is if you go in there, even if you have your meatball flag taken away, if you don't take a fast repair, you're going to have a ton of required damage if you don't take that fast repair, and you're going to have to sit there regardless if you had the meatball flag or not. So, interesting choice there for sure. This early on in the race, but we talk about Mike Casey missing last week and need to make up for lost time. Well, he's lost the points lead coming into tonight's race, as it's now Billy Rickett at the top of the boards, Michael Rakes, then Michael Casey, Zane Bierman, Andrew Jones. With 3 races to go, including tonight's race, you want a close points battle? Well, how about Billy Rickett, 336, Michael Rakes, 335, Michael Casey 334 for the top 3, and then and then 327 for Zane Bierman there in 9th or in 4th. So the top 4 in points with 3 races to go, separated by 9 points. Yeah, I like that, Jimmy.
I mean, that's a good points race. I mean, obviously maybe calculated, missing this race or that race, but I don't know if they have drop races or not. But if that's not the case, their pace car has dropped off the raceway, and the 6 is on that loud pedal of Levi Poland, giving a little love tap, kind of nudge that 6 forward. Shoot Michael Casey out to the front. Michael Rakes there, P number 2. Levi Poland's going to go ahead and dive down to the inside, get that run going there. Michael Rakes is going to go into P number 2. And then far behind, you got Robbie Miner on running the highest side. Billy Rickey down at the bottom. Take over P number 4. My words. I need to find my words. Around here somewhere.
Big moment there for, I believe it was Bryce Anderson getting a little bit loose going into turn number 3. Not sure if he got help or not, but we are going to survive here and make it through a lap, I believe. No, it looks like Zach Peer involved in another incident here. Yep. And looks like maybe same spot, just going in turn number 1. That car just not agreeing with him. Actually, that was out of turn number 4 right there and right in front of your leaders. And that's going to bring out another caution as he quickly gets it off the track down there. And some of the cars coming by. And I don't know if that was a product of the tires still being cold, the damage still on the car, maybe a little bit of both. But either way, we're going to be under another caution.
There's damage on that car. That's crabbing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that it is.
Yeah, it's one thing when you think any of the things that iRacing wouldn't let your car out for, it was like misaligned tires. That is like the hardest thing to do. There's been a few races where we've seen drivers be able to handle a more than normal crab on a car and finish a race, but this early on, I mean, it stinks. I mean, that's not what the position Zach wants to be, and maybe just want to get out there and maybe go think about taking that quick repair here this time by, but obviously already spinning around again. The car's not in tip-top shape, but yeah, a tough break there for number 27 Culver's machine, and another caution is out here as we're on now lap 7 of 125.
Yeah, I think that the idea most likely is he's trying to limp that thing around and try and get it to the comp caution on lap number 25 and then take the fast pair, so at least he's got a sure 100 laps of a clean car, but you got to get there first, and clearly it's a bit rough to drive that number 27 right now. Again, maybe that was due in part to the cold tires here. Again, it's cold tires on this track. You gotta tiptoe a little bit if you're gonna be, especially if you're gonna run the high line. If you're gonna run that low line, it's not gonna be as bad. You're gonna burn up that right front a lot more. And as the run goes on, it's going to start pushing. So it could be a case where we'll see the line for the leaders kind of develop at the bottom to start with, and really kind of just using that bottom for the first maybe 10-15 laps until it starts really getting pushy, and then you'll see everybody kind of work their way up to the top of the track and start utilizing the fact that it gets a little bit looser at the top and kind of even out that tightness that the right front is now burned off from. But we're going to get them lined up here once again. It is still Mike Casey at the front of this thing. Levi Poland was ready to go with him on that last one, gave him a little shot. The rest of the inside line took a little bit to get going, but now Poland's going to be restarting here on the outside lane with Michael Rakes, Billy Rickett behind them, Robbie Miner, Bryce Anderson, Zane Bierman, Ken Ewell, Steve Harris, and Matthew Jordan up to the top 10 now, up 14 spots. Ken Ewell up 11 spots, and James Jones also up 14 spots.
Yeah, it's like the back of the pack is now sitting in the middle, having troubles early on, and then some shimmying around them going into pits. These drivers are back far enough to get around that, now sitting in very close to being in the top 10. And, we've seen Scruffy Jordan kind of work his way up each and every week, kind of start towards the mid or back of the pack, and at the end of the race, he's usually fighting close to that top 10, even pushing top 5s here. So see if Matthew Jordan could get a good run here tonight and maybe even get on a podium, as he's been having some pretty decent runs throughout the end of the season here. But Michael Casey ready to go here as he is out on the loud pedal as Marty moves that green flag and we're off to turn number 1.
And you see, even with these restarts, you got to be careful. The restart zone here is pretty much once you get onto that straightaway, but still a little bit banked, so it can be a little bit tricky for some of the drivers from mid to backpack trying to get that power down. And the fact that these cars, these Gen 6s got a little bit more power, a little bit more bite going to those tires, and really the bite is what you're trying to try and get you going on these restarts, but you sometimes just don't have it. You have a little bit more power down there, and you got to be careful getting on the gas. But looks like we will get a full-on restart, complete a lap here once again. Hopefully they get these tires warmed up and we get to see some racing here before the comp caution.
Yeah, just need to settle down, obviously get in the rhythm, get things going. They got a comp caution in about 15 laps, and we'll see that come out, and should leave us with only one person one lap down. But yeah, so far so good. As the drivers start to heat things up here tonight, and get those tires ready to go.
I mentioned only 3 races to go. We got tonight at Homestead. We got Daytona next week, and man, that's the last thing anybody in a close points battle I think wants to see is a super speedway on the horizon. But that's what we got next week, Daytona under the lights, and then we'll finish in Vegas. So I mean, you get the championship driver will be able to take his winnings, head right to the tables if he wants to, and keep it out there in Vegas under the lights. But this hopefully will set up to be a good one. Now that we got going here a little bit, tires should be finally starting to warm up here a little bit. It only takes a couple laps, but you see right there, it can happen just as easily, and it looks like. Yeah, okay, gonna save it. Just took a little bit there for James Jones, but he does eventually save it, get it under control. But now those tires are going to be a little bit angry for, I think, a lap or two as you go 3 wide through 1 and 2.
It's like he got on the brakes and they locked up, and that's why the front end kind of shimmied out off to the side. So maybe I shifted brake bias a little bit, to the back, and try to just be careful with jabbing on them brakes. Sometimes it's hard, depending on your brake pedals arrangement, I guess you would call it, because everybody uses different pedals and they're not all the same. So it's just finding that sweet spot and being able to control these cars. One, they don't stop very good anyways. But if you find that point where you push your brakes too far, it'll actually lock up your brakes and do what it did there to James Jones, sliding that front out. And but he had to catch it, so I shocked him a little bit, as it's not one thing you like to feel. The front of your car starts sliding off to the right, going around in a corner. Still trying to manage those brakes here tonight there on the number 76. But we'll head back up towards front here with Robbie Miner, and right on board with Robbie as he looks on as Zane Bierman and Bryson Anderson battling there for heat number 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting on the brakes that hard, you're not driving the right line to begin with. No line here. Even if you get down to the bottom, you're not using the brakes that much. It's almost like at the top of the track, you're kind of dragging it a little bit just to get the car settled down, and then getting back on the gas. But then on the bottom line, it's just kind of almost to me like a heavy drag just to get it down there. You're not really stomping on the brakes at all. You shouldn't be using that much brake pedal to get the car woed down there. You just kind of need to settle it down there on the track and wait to the point where you get through the corner enough where you can slowly start bringing the throttle back up on the bottom. And you can say the same thing for the top. And really on the top is where you need to worry about really slowly bringing that throttle in and kind of finding that bite point, because the back end is going to want to kick out on you if you touch that throttle just a little bit too hard, just like you seen right there with James Jones touching the brake a little bit too hard. The same thing can happen on the throttle. But right now, bit of a 2-car breakaway. Mike Casey and Levi Pullman out front right now. And they're kind of doing almost the exact opposite line that I kind of prefer here. I like 1 and 2. I'm typically down there at the bottom of the track, and then 3 and 4, I'm at the top of the track. And it looks like they're kind of doing the exact opposite here. And even on that middle line, I don't know. Like, to me, I need to either be down there close to the apron, down by that white line, or I need to be up above that black seam that you see going through the corners. Like, even here, you can go down there, kind of use that black seam almost as an apron, and then let the car kind of drift up towards that wall. To me, you can enter higher than that. You can, enter rim riding right along that wall, but you better make sure you have the right speed in the car, or you're going to be finding that wall pretty quickly, and it's going to slow you down very quickly as well. To me, if you get down there and kind of use that black seam as your apron for the high line, it gives you some time to settle the car down, let it drift up the track if it needs to, and then once you find that point where it's ready to go again, then you're good to go as well, not worrying about the wall as much. But late in the race, if you got to rip that lip, then that's what you got to do.
Rip the lip. You see Michael Casey kind of switching things up, so even Levi Poland kind of guessing. So last lap, I've seen Casey high in turns 1 and 2, low in 3 and 4. Now he's low in 1 and 2, and we'll see how he works out 3 and 4. But it's almost like he's just kind of going back and forth, but he's changing it up a little bit. So you hear he's going to go down a little bit lower. Force Levi to wear up the tires, but maybe even take some air off his nose. Almost
Casey gets out of the corner right there. Yeah, exactly. And that's also the problem for Levi Poland. If Casey's going to go low, Poland's got to go lower, not just to try and work his way around him, but really to get air on that front end and help that thing around the corner. Because if not, it's just going to arrow push, and you're going to go straight up towards that outside wall. As you see him now side by side down the backstretch. Looks like Levi is ready to take on that lead. Dives it down to the bottom here through 3 and 4, and will make that pass. He's going to be able to slide up to the top as Casey's going to slot now into second place. Rakes into third. You got Anderson, Bierman for your top 5, Jordan, Rickett, Ivy, Garner, and Minor now for your top 10. So DJ Garner now moves himself up into the top 10. He's starting to work his way front with that number 31. He's got 3 wide behind him. Minor's going to lose a couple positions here as Ledesma and Melton go on by.
Yeah, Robbie, leaving some wheel marks on the wall up there as I see him dragging off on the wall, and probably just got up there and didn't want to bounce off it anyway, so just kind of let it drag a little bit, break it off nice and easy. Basic Garner Jr. getting down below Jorge Ledesma right there trying to make the pass. Not quite there yet, but maybe enough momentum to get on by.
I was trying to get him back there as Ledesma gave him the slide job through 3 and 4 to take that position away, and now DJ trying to give the business right back, and just doing so. And Ledesma couldn't really move down there. He's got Melton right on the inside of him, so he couldn't go for the crossover himself. He had to stay in line. Now they go through 3 and 4. Melton looking to try and get around Ledesma and Garner on this lap, but he's going to get 1 out of 2, slide in line, and we keep it going here as we're only a couple laps away from the comp caution.
Couple more laps to go, and these drivers can be able to judge their tires. Excuse me, throw Siley up against the wall there a little bit. Just slow that momentum down. But Levi
nice new paint scheme on that 33 as well. I know he's got a new DuPont paint scheme on that number 33, looking pretty nice here tonight.
It's DuPont. I'm sorry, I have a bad habit of skipping over DuPont. It's never a Jeff Gordon fan.
It's not the typical Rainbow Warrior paint scheme. It's a little bit different there tonight, so I kind of like that one. But as usual, some good looking paint schemes out here tonight as they had their fun paint schemes last week with the throwback race at Charlotte, and it looks like is almost throwing somebody into the wall there. It was close between the 17 and 19, but for 55 is Zayden Bierman, unless I'm not having the updated trade and paints here, it looks like he's riding the hot hand. He's just keeping that 55 with the Jean-Gerard Perrier number 55 out here tonight.
I mean, if you have good success with it, a lot of drivers don't like to change their paint scheme, if they're having success, whether it's a lifestyle or whatever, but it's a little luck until it goes bad, and then they'll switch it up. But 55 up there right now is up in number 5 spots. Biggest mover of the race, though, and like I said, you got to watch out for this driver here, number 23 of Matt Jordan. Just kind of been pretty consistently working his way from the middle towards the front and the back towards the front. Here tonight, already 19 spots, Carl. It's starting back in that 24th spot. So not quite the last row, but I see this happen here. 26 laps. We know there was an incident. Yeah. But I was able to get through
that's
those.
The cop caution.
Oh yeah. I know that. I'm saying
we
know there was an incident earlier on.
Yeah.
He, didn't have to come in, but he's just been putting himself in the right spot at the right time. So it's just good to see.
Under the comp caution here, and for Scruffy, like I said, I talked to him a little bit before the race, and he was mentioning that he was having some PC issues, some issues trying to figure out how to get around the track. Well, I think he's figured it out okay, both the computer and the line here so far. But everyone down into the pits here. Looks like wave around for the 21 here of Wade Enier, unless he's just catching up to the field. And I'm going to get an unsafe entry under caution. Looks like he's going to get it mowed up there just in time. Nothing to worry about here. And while we talk about Wade, I want to send a shout out to Kim's Cups and More, One Vision EMS and Transports, and Beyond the Edge for the sponsorship here for 191 Motorsports. Says I got a little tasty there.
I think the hedgehog was on board or something. Got that Sonic machine rolling here, and I think they had a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog on board. Like, whoa. He almost missed the turn, but yeah, gets it down in there. Get some new tires and fuel in that number 21. And yeah, obviously, like you said, shout to Wade Enier and Kim's Cups and More. Obviously, if you haven't, I know that it says Cups, but I do stress on them more. Go over there, over on their Facebook, check them out, give a message. If you got an idea, you just trade messages back and forth with Kim and Wade and see if they can help you out. They did it for me, actually did it for my wife, but I was the one that reached out, and my wife and Kim went back and forth, and they got what she wanted for her car, for a brand new car. So and it looks really good. So I was happy with it, and I would do it again. So if you need something, like you said, Kim Cups and More, can't thank them enough for personally helping me, but what they also do for the leagues that they sponsor each and every season.
I know Sonic the Hedgehog is not a big fan of water, so for Sonic's sake and for Wade's sake, I'm glad he avoided the water barrels heading into pit lane there. But either way, we're going to get this thing back underway. This time by as the pace car lights are out. Looks like everybody trying to figure out and get into the correct position. Looks like Zach Peer just kind of sitting there waiting for the field to go around him until he settles in his position. But it's going to be new leader up front. Travis Noble, Levi Poland, Mike Casey drops to third. You got Zane Bierman, Michael Rakes for your top five. Then you got Jordan, Rickett, Anderson, Ivy, and Melton for your top 10. So definitely shaking up the order here a little bit. Looks like everyone decided to take tires, and technically from here, unless my calculations were wrong from the little bit of testing that I did, they're good to go on fuel. They can make it to the end on fuel. But I'll be damned if they want to, because those tires are not going to be happy, and then the tires are not happy after a good 20 laps here. So we'll see how this thing plays out. Looks like everybody gets away on this restart okay. It's just getting through those first couple laps on those cold, non-grippy tires.
I don't know if they want to go 90 laps on some cold or some one set of tires, Carl. I do know, like last week when I was trying to get fuel calculations, when I was testing, it was coming out wrong. And like I said, I said 60, and it was like 30. So definitely wasn't panning out here. So hopefully we will get to see a green flag caution. Those are like my favorite, but we're going to see another caution as number 52, Hartman, goes around. And see what happens as they cross the start-finish line.
Looks like the 19 comes up from the bottom, and it started with netcode contact. I think they would have made contact eventually, but and I'm going to hook the 52 here on the front stretch. Good thing is the 52 is sliding sideways enough that he's able to keep it off that inside wall, and really little to no damage on the 52. Maybe just a little bit of a brush from the wall and from the 19 on that left rear quarter. But other than that, I mean, I don't think there's too much damage on the 52 of Hartman. But they're going to bring us under another caution here. And that was one that definitely could have been avoided. It's just some spatial awareness, and you gotta, keep an eye on where everyone is, whether it's on a relative or, like Jimmy's been talking about, different apps have, the kind of an awareness indicator for you to let you know if there's a car outside, inside, how close they are behind you, things like that. And I think iRacing even has that now as well. I think I've seen some drivers talking about the iRacing now has that where you can kind of get an idea if there's a car aside of you, if you're not good enough yet.
Yellow light. Yep, you can make it as big or as small as you want. It look like little jelly beans, I guess, if you want to call them that, on their side. It's they're nice. I usually I have those up on mine as well, just kind of down on the dashboard for my overlays. But I can't stress enough. I'm not, I guess iOverlay doesn't pay me. I pay for iOverlay, and I use it, and it's not very expensive. So I pay for the year. It got all kinds of different things on there, and I mainly use it because of the overall standings board that I can have up on my left-hand side when we're in an endurance race, and you can see when other teams pitted, when they pitted, how long they were in there, stuff like that, without having to run all of these fancy overlays that you see here for with SDK. I think it'd be a little too much to run all that at the same time, so I just use that, and it definitely has a lot of tools in there, from fuel calculator, and I mean the fuel calculator. Last week at Miami road course, it was on the money to the point gallon, the tenth of a gallon. It was really that close. Sometimes you kind of hem and haw, like, oh, I don't need that. And, yep, it's just right on the money. So I haven't had any problems with it. I moved away from sim racing apps, but from what I hear, Carl, sim racing apps is gone through some updates, and I haven't had a chance to, or even thought about re-downloading it to check it out to see what kind of updates they gave that system. Because I know when we originally started CRN and we were looking for overlays, that's what we used. So if you look way back, about almost 5 years ago now, you can see some of our first streams that had the not so nice.
Don't laugh so hard.
Overlays, yeah. You don't laugh so hard. We were probably pretty terrible back then, but everybody enjoyed it. Then we showed up.
We're not going to look back. We're not going to look back. Give your comments to yourself.
Oh, go ahead. Go watch. I recommend it. I get a good laugh.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the all the different tools you can use too, like I like to consider myself, more towards the top when it comes to my spatial awareness and knowing if there's cars inside of me or how close they are to getting alongside of me. I'm always constantly looking at my relative and trying to know where everything is going on at all times with my car, so I know what I can do with it. But with that being said, tools still help. I mean, the ultimate tool is if you have somebody out there being a crew chief, being a spotter for you. That's in my opinion, the best thing that you can have is a spotter out there. The iRacing spotter does a pretty good enough job if you don't have anybody in particular that you want to have spotting for you. But even these other tools, it doesn't hurt to kind of have an extra eye on your car for you. And even if it's it's showing that there's somebody inside of you, but technically you can slide down on the inside. It's not bad to have that knowledge, and unfortunately, we're going to have another caution here as the cars go ripping by somehow. Everybody avoided Bryce Anderson on that one. He's going to get this thing spun back around, and again, pretty minimal damage on the 62, but I don't think you can say the same thing for the 70 of Travis Noble on this one.
Yeah, he came down.
Yep, a little bit of a bobble, and 17 tries to go low to avoid him, but this is the impact right here for Travis Noble that is going to tear up the front end of that number 70.
Yeah, there was before that, though, if I'm not mistaken. So
he got loose coming out.
He did get loose coming out, but in the previous corner, I thought it was Travis Noble. No, he wasn't. I thought I seen the 70 riding the wall there, but. Up there pretty high. Yeah.
Right in that seam, Jimmy. You got to pick a line, and that's kind of what I talked about before. You can use that seam to help you turn around the corner if you need to, but other than that, you want to be above it or below it. You cannot ride that seam and expect the car to be planted and stable. It's, you know, a little bit of progression and progressive banking here at Homestead, and that's where you kind of feel it right there. If you're riding that seam, it's almost like if you're, well, riding with 2 tires down there on the apron. It's just, you know, not as exaggerated, but you don't want to do that at all to begin with down there riding on the apron, as we get some fakers, some liar pants on fires on the front stretch here as far as looking to go into the pits. But we do have some drivers like the ones involved here. Obviously, Bryce Anderson, Travis Noble coming into the pits. Looks like Wade Enyer, I think he made a little bit safer entry into the pits this time compared to the last one. He's listening to us out there, but those 3 are going to be the only ones coming into pit lane this time. And it's like I said, they're good to go on fuel. I think it hasn't been enough laps to warrant a new set of tires just yet. The drivers only having the the limited amount of tires, 4 sets of tires in the pits, already took a set on lap number 25, 26 when they had the comp caution. So maybe just kind of holding off and saving those other 3 sets for a little bit later in the race.
Yeah, it's, I mean, super early here right now. It's lap number 37 on 125. Plenty of racing to be had. We've had a few cautions already. We've had 4 plus the comp caution, so, you know, technically I guess 5, but you know, the comp caution one is the one that there should be the only one they're touching in here tonight. Just just a little loss of car in the middle of the track, and you know, it's just that seam that you're talking about down there. It can hurt you. It's one of the reasons some drivers stay away from the middle. The difference in the seam and the track itself, you know, can upset the car or tire. It's you don't think it would, but obviously, you know, I think what I've realized that the most, Carl, was when they added rain, and the paint was super slippery under braking.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how much it is. It's like it's a little ice patch when the rain is on those white stripe or any color stripes, doesn't matter what color is on those stripes of paint. It is wet, it is slippery, it is ice. You don't want to touch those, but not to worry about that yet. On the oval racing, I'm waiting for the day where they just release it, and you know, listen, do you really want to race with the rain on ovals? No, but you know, you want to throw up some kind of fun race and mix it up with people and just use the simulator to have fun instead of trying to simulate real life. It's a possibility. Maybe someday they even during some testing sessions, I mean, like when they have it's down for maintenance or down for the updates for the season, just throw rain out there. See what happens. See everybody just slip sliding away. But we're going to slide into another green flag. Hopefully get a green flag run this time. It's going to be Levi Pohl and Mike Casey on the front row, and they are on the loud pedal here, racing again here at Homestead.
Yeah, Levi out to another good jump. You know, the control car has always got such a big advantage on the restart. You know, the other driver's really guessing, you know, when you're going to go, and if you keep mixing it up as the restart car, you can really catch him off guard and get a run. But Mike Casey keeps a pretty good job there, keeping him in check. But Zane Bierman's sitting back there in at number 55, really trying to rack up those top 5s here tonight. Like you said, in the hunt there, only nine points separating the top 4 drivers, and you got 2 of those drivers up there in the top 3. So, and then Billy Ricketts not that far back, but again, I don't want to give him any bad juju, but the 23 has worked its way up there into the top 5 so far here tonight. It's like I said, I've just been keeping my eyes on that number 23, looking to get a good finish here tonight, maybe possibly a win. I think he's due for one, Carl. It's been a little while since that 23 has been up here.
I think he's trying to channel his inner Dale Jarrett. He didn't get to show it off too much last week, I don't think, but certainly a little bit better run here for Scruffy, and it's kind of going to been not the season that Scruffy wants to remember. I mean, he's 6th in points coming in, so hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't cracked through for a win yet. Last season started off with a win right from the rip at Daytona, won the season opener, and really kind of factored into a few races that season. This season, not as much, unfortunately, getting involved in one too many incidents, unfortunately, and hasn't really been able to showcase himself so much. But you know, he gets his top 10s here and there. He gets his top 5s and kind of moves on to the next week. But I'd like to see that 23 start to make his way back towards the front and get himself some well-deserved interviews. But speaking of a man that's been getting a lot of interviews, yeah, the man right there on the screen, the 55 is Zane Bierman. He's got a taste of not just talking to John, he's got a taste of talking to Jimmy and Carl again, and looks like he's got that number 55 working towards the front one more time.
Yeah, getting number 55 up there, and it's, you know, if he pays attention, makes smart calls, and find himself, you know, up here again, and a little loose or tight getting out of that corner there. He's seeing the car bobble a little bit. That gives Mike Casey the opportunity to get underneath there, but gets a nice run down the outside. Not just tires will hold, and he's got plenty of room to kind of come down in front of Mike. So definitely a good run there. A good lap there for the 55, making up for that small mistake that I seen a little bit earlier. But right behind him, Michael Rakes and Billy Rickett. Billy Rickett really trying to push that 7 here right now, too, trying to get up there, you know, and battle with the other drivers where the points are just so tight, and it's not he's not too far back. He's right now currently your leader, and I'm sure he would love to get up there and finish in front of these two to make it a little bit larger for the next couple of races coming up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember how their drop races go. I'm pretty sure they have at least a drop race, and I don't remember if they said it gets factored in. It's factored in already, or if it gets factored in at the end of the season. So it could be even crazier than what we think here up to this point. But either way, it's been a good one now. Now that we got another restart, hopefully you can click off some laps. It looks like everybody's just kind of settling in. Hopefully you can get into some kind of a groove here and click off some of these laps as we're here on lap number 45. Still got 80 more to go.
Yeah, 80 more laps to go here at Miami, and I think they've finally found somewhat of a groove in close racing for the most part, all the way back until number 14. Tony Brennan leading the second group, so pretty much a 14-car breakaway, and then look behind Tony back here. He's got James Jones back there, and Steve Harris back there, and then Scott Henderson as well, not too far back. And then you see Richard Hartman and being followed by Ken Yule, Paul Helms, Wayne Inyard, and Jim Fielded back here as well as Bryson Anderson. Go ahead and show up the tower so you can see who's a lap down. And it just looks like Zach here is your first car, 1 lap down, and you have Andrew Jones 1 lap down as well. So, you know, I know the drivers like green flag racing, but I would have to guess that these two drivers wouldn't mind another caution or two to get back up there on that lead lap.
Yeah, for sure, and it's still plenty early for any driver to be back in to this kind of race here. I mean, I can't necessarily say the same for some of these drivers like Travis Noble. Looks like he may be done for the night with the meatball and in the pits. I think he was involved in one of the earlier cautions to get another meatball, so he could be done for the night. Andrew Jones is one of the 2 cars right now, 1 lap down with Zach Pierce. So both of them duking it out for the lucky dog position, but right now Zach Pierce got about a 10-second lead on Andrew Jones. If and when, because it has, a caution flag is out. Looks like Tanner McAllister involved in this one, and as long as Zach Pierce was not, looks like we'll be able to get that lucky dog. We'll see what happened here with the 17.
Yeah, just I want to say netcode, but you know, Robbie, just coming up and didn't get really close there to that back bumper, and netcode took over. Sends the 17 for a ride around the nose. So tough break there for the 17 as another caution flies here at Miami.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so, and get in touch with everything that CRN has to offer.
Yeah, you don't even have to actually do a pit maneuver. Netcode does it for you, Carl.
Yeah, fortunately, we've seen it quite a bit lately, and it sucks that we've seen so much netcode action, especially with these cars. And it's even got to the point where I think I did see Matthew Jordan try to put it out there and almost trying to get a petition going to try and save the Gen 6s from all the crap that they've been kind of dealing with lately when it comes to the meatball flags, when it comes to the netcode issues and everything else. It is just it's too much for some of these drivers. You want to get out here, you want to have fun. These are one of the more fun cars on the service right now. To me, they're a hell of a lot more fun than the next gen cars. I know it may not be a popular opinion, but I don't care. I don't like the next gen cars, and I've always said many times, both in real life and here on the service. But looks like we have a few cars deciding not to come in here. Jimmy Michael Rakes weighed in here. Bryson Anderson deciding to stay out. We've seen this happen before, and we've seen it get a little bit sketchy for restarting on tires that are now about 24 laps old compared to cut tires that are now brand new right behind them.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, if you are trying to stay out and get laps back, but Rakes is on the lead lap, so that's not going to matter. Wade in here, still out there. He was in on lap number 36, and Jones is out there, but Andrew Jones is probably wanting to get that, maybe he was hoping Rakes would come in, and it's kind of the unlucky driver, so that he didn't get the lucky dog, and it's going to end up happening to, where is he going to? He is, I think. No, he's not. So he's got to fall back.
Only 50 laps in the books here so far tonight. Still got 75 more to go here as pace car lights are out. It's going to be Michael Rakes, Bryce Anderson on the front row. Zane Meerman, the last of the, just the front row. Zane Meerman is the first one that's going to be right there with those fresh tires. Looking to pounce quickly to get around both of them and see if he can get to the lead for the first time here tonight. And I don't know. I mean, you never know what's going to happen yet. There's still a lot of laps. Like I said, they're good to go on fuel. Fuel is not going to be the issue here tonight. It's just, can you maintain those tires here to the end? Because that is going to be a big ask. Even right now, still 75 laps on the tires for the drivers that just came in. But can you get a good restart for the front row? Rakes and Anderson are going to have to figure out a way to get the power down here as we're back to the restart zone. And back to the loud pedal. Looks like the 18 gets away okay. 62 gets away good enough too. A little shot there from the 91. Get him going. Now he's going to drop down in front of the 55 of Zane Bierman. So Bierman's going to have some new tires on Levi Poland. He's got to try to figure out a way around the Poland already to the inside of Rakes.
Yeah, it didn't take long. I think the 62 just went up and grazed the wall, so he's got to be careful. Everybody coming up behind him has got to pay attention. But able to get back up to speed here, and obviously you see Douglas Ivy going up behind there a little bit loose. He does catch it. Well, Jorge Ledesma almost loses it. Catcher by number 44, falls back to heat number 11, but got pretty loose coming out of turn number 4. But we have made it. We have survived up front, and obviously kind of watching Bryson Anderson. Obviously, he was right towards the back there just a little bit. He's kind of concerned about them tires, but now that he's been able to kind of maybe relax that initial start is over, he can go ahead. But really, Ricky gets loose and almost gets up into Rakes. That's going to choke them up. It's going to allow the 30 to go by. They're going to go too wide, almost too wide. Billy's trying to get back that time to the left. But 62 is able to get down a little low. He's going to get off the gas just enough to get that car rotated down. Got the 49 of Chris Melton back there. Just kind of waiting, just kind of biding his time. So no major move there for the 49. So good call there by Chris. Allowing 62 down on that apron this time. Got to chase the 42 up. Billy's having some issues almost in the wall. Again, another good save by the number 7.
And Garner was on the wall there as well, bouncing off here and there, but we're going to keep it green. And they're certainly roughing it up here a little bit, but 3 wide is not a problem. There's been plenty of 3 wide. The Melton now goes through the middle between Ivy and Anderson as he works his way up towards the front. Anderson doing a pretty good job, as is Rakes, with those older tires kind of hanging in there. I know we haven't had a ton of green flag laps on those used tires at this point, but you still got to survive with those new tires, all trying to race and get around it here. Seems like passing is an option here, whether you're on new tires or the same set of tires that everybody else is on. You can definitely make some passes here, but you got to be a little brave when it comes to getting on the throttle here and how much you want to dive into these corners. As Ricketts now on the inside here of Anderson, looking for for 9th place, which he's going to have it here, but it's a bit of a cluster here at the back of the top 10.
Yeah, just Bryce is doing a good job with what he's got, and I think everybody's just trying to be a little more careful around him, knowing that he's on some older tires and kind of getting back out there and just taking their time, one at a time, get by and get this thing done. But out front is now the number 91 Levi Poland. As he is taking the lead, obviously, but Zane Bierman pressing that 55 down to the inside, coming out of turn number 4. Got a good run, but the momentum on that outside should carry this 91 down to turn number 1. Got Mike Casey out there as well, but here's the 2 different lines. Low down there for the number 55, puts his nose out to the front, and we have a new leader as he comes across the nose, 91. So Zane Bierman moves into that first position, followed by Levi Paul and Michael Casey. And then Heasy Hardy quietly sneaking up there, up 17 spots, currently sitting at number 4.
Coming up here on the halfway point, so I think it's a good time when we got a nice little green flag run here with Zane Bierman in the lead over Levi Poland, Mike Casey, Hezzy Hardy, and Douglas Ivy for the top 5. Then we turn it away from the green and go on another yellow, so hold that thought. It looks like Bryson Anderson in the 62 finally met his match, as it looks like he gets together with the 65 of Tony Brennan. Both of them going to walk away with a meatball on this one.
Yeah, and I think there on this one here, I think it was just Tony came up a little too much. Yep. .65, just about maybe not getting the call or thought he was clear, and ends up coming across the nose there with Bryson Anderson. We'll bring out another caution here. Like you said, bring out a few meatballs here, which I'm going to bring up the tower. As you can see, those orange dots on there for Anderson and Brennan, excuse me. They fall back to the field here, and that's going to be Andrew Jones ain't going to mind this one so much. So he should be able to get that weight around and get that lucky one.
Well, we're under caution here at the halfway point here. 60 laps are going to be in the books this time by. We still have another 65 to go. We'll go ahead and step aside here for a minute and give everyone out there a caution-filled here, and love to hear it.
Love to hear it. a little bit of love to here at Miami with 191 Motorsports, and they're on a green flag run here as they're working their way past that halfway mark and getting towards the later part of the race. And you can tell on screen there's some battling going on back and forth, and keeping my eyes open and watching the 44 of Jorge Ledesma along with the 23 of Matthew Scruffy Jordan. You can see up there on the tower one of the drivers that was up there for they come in and got new tires. So those tires really starting to kind of take effect as they work their way forward here. And if this thing keeps going green, we might see this 23 up to the front, you know, in just a little bit of time. He's got about a little over a second and a half and closing on Easy Hardy. So getting really close to getting back up there into the top 5. But something's up. I don't know what is. Right now it's saying Zach Pierre is the leader. I'm not quite sure how that happened. But he was on newer, he did stop and get newer tires. So after having some earlier incidents right now, the number 27 out front, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, a driver that for the first maybe 5 laps of this race didn't seem like he could keep it going around the track at all. I mean, he lost it on the initial start of the race and tore up the car pretty bad, and then he was crabbing trying to stay out there, brought up another caution, but he's got his way back on the lead lap and then some. Out into the lead right now. He has 11 lap newer tires than everyone else, as he did come into the pits under that last caution, and he's worked his way all the way to the front of this field and kind of shocking the nation right now. We'll see if he can hold this thing the rest of the way. Unfortunately, for the 18...
I thought he was a lap down. I was like, and then looking at the tower, I'm like, how do you get back up there? But just, you know, that consistency. And yeah, you were talking about the 18 of Michael Rakes got disconnected and ended up going a few laps down. So, I mean, he's out there. He's out in front of the number 27 and pulling away. But, you know, 10 laps is a monster to come back from. And, you know, out there just kind of running laps at the moment, and then maybe he can get a couple back for a wave around issues, but then have old tires and whatnot. But I'm seeing people come down the pits, at least one. Levi Poland in number 91 has decided to break it off here on lap number 87, hoping that this green flag run stays just that way until a lot of his competitors have pit, because it really you take that chance. You know, we've seen cautions come out and ruin some drivers' pit strategies here early on, Carl. But you know, they're in on lap number 50. We're here on lap 87. That's only 37 laps, and Michael Casey now giving it up here as well. So yeah, like you said, maybe
this last one away, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't know what is going on with the fuel strategy. I mean, you had the issue you know, last week where you thought you knew the fuel and it was completely wrong. I mean, here tonight when I did a little testing before, I figured, you know, I'll go out there. I got some time. I'll get a couple laps in and see what kind of fuel mileage. It was telling me 110 laps. It didn't seem right to me at all that it was 110 laps on a tank of fuel for these cars. And I double checked with some of the drivers, and like, yeah, we were on 100% fuel for the race. So I'm like, okay, well, then that's got to be what it is. But clearly it's either that's not the case, or they realize that they're so far off pace with these older tires that they got to split this last run in half and get some fresh tires on those cars. I mean, you've seen how quickly Zach Pierre made it through the field with his newer tires. Matthew Scruffy Jordan also been on lap number 61. He's got those new tires. He's still out there now, up into second place. Zane Bierman still out there, last bit on lap number 50. I would expect, that he's going to come in right now to get some new tires on that number 55 here to try and run this thing to the end. But it's, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the fuel mileage on iRacing. I knew I should have brought up my overlays just to double check on that side as well to see what it was saying over there. But
yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't give you when you're testing. It doesn't calculate your fuel in the I overlay. So yeah, it's I figured, you know, usually you can go out there, do about 10 laps or so, and then get back, like get the car, reset it, and it will tell you how many laps you can go, you know. And yeah, I'm really surprised that it was so far off last week and here again tonight. But now a lot of drivers have come in pit. Some are staying out, and this is why. If you look at the tower right now, these top 10 drivers now have a lap on the field. Well, let's just say Zach here has a lap on those all those drivers 11th back. So. And
we've got a caution, Jimmy.
And oh my goodness, what they didn't want to happen is happening. Yellow flag is out, and you know, they just came in here on lap 86, 88. We're on 92. This is going to be big here for Zach Pierre and the likes of other drivers like Scruffy Jordan and whatnot. But we'll go back and check what happened to see what happened to Paul Jones, or Paul Helms, excuse me. And just getting on that apron, getting loose, and then it's going to send that car sideways here across the start-finish line. Too early to be celebrating, so definitely going to bring out that yellow here, but gets it down, got it locked up, hoping that the car doesn't have enough momentum to get to the wall, but it does. So it's going to smack that front end there, send them the rest of the way sideways, and bring out yet another caution here. And Carl, it's going to mix things up, but here comes the front drivers up there on the lead lap. Zach Pierre, Scruffy Jordan, Chris Beltman, Jorge Ledesma, Steve Harris, James Jones, Shane Wheeldon, Bryson Anderson, Tony Brennan, Andrew Jones. You know, and everybody else is going to go ahead and stay out, obviously. So, you know, back there with Levi Pullman, Michael Casey, Zane Bierman, Billy Rickett, Easy Hardy. I mean, a lot of those are your points leaders, and now they're in the middle of the pack, and now these drivers are going to come out with new tires and, you know, in the front. So it's going to be tough for those drivers to make it around here, and we're getting towards a later part of this race where maybe they can make it the rest of the way. You know, they were out there since lap, I think there's a couple that were out there from lap 50. So 40-some laps. So we're in the realm of making it the rest of the way. And if it goes green the rest of the way, these drivers could be looking on a good point day here tonight. And some people that we're not used to seeing up here. Like I said, Zach Pierre, Matthew Jordan, Steve Harris is up for your top three. Chris Beltman has been doing a pretty consistent job, you know, each every week. He's finding himself in the top 5. Jorge Ledesma, it's been a while since we talked to him, but he's in the top 5. Shane Wheeldon, I know he's got fans out there. James Jones, obviously having some trouble earlier on. Bryson Anderson had early problems, and Tony Brennan. Yeah, all them drivers are top, right there in your top 10. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this thing ends up here tonight.
Yeah, for all those drivers that came in before the caution, they have to stay out there, take that wave around, and go from there, because they already got their tires. They're good to go. It looks like still trying to work out everyone that's got to get the wave around. Hartman in front of the field right now should be able to get the wave around as well. There we go. Now he's finally going to go by, and Zach Pierre is going to go by as well. But I think he's going to, yeah, he's going to have to wait. I don't think he's supposed to get the wave around here. I think he's so used to being a lap down, Jimmy. Maybe he's going around as well.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, he's going to have to hold up. I'm not quite sure how this is going to manage. I mean, he is the lead car, but...
He is, but he needs to be behind the pace car. Unfortunately, I think this is going to may mess things up here. So
slow down. Tell him to slow down. Whoever's watching.
Well, try to get this thing cleared up before the caution comes out.
And everybody's coming around. I mean, this is, yeah, there's no way that he's got to go around the field. very, very bad
Wait, I think
situation
we're
here.
good now. I do some
might
admin
need
or
to
the admins there. They are. Yeah, they're going to extend it. They're
okay.
going to extend it here again and get Zach behind the pace car. That's why you see him lock it up there. That was me yelling at him to stop on the track.
You're like, yo, where are you going, bro?
So we'll get this thing figured out. I don't know if Big Daddy is in attendance. I'm sure he is, but he was probably scratching his head wondering what the heck was going on as well. But we'll get this thing squared away. I'll take care of myself if I had to.
Yeah, so
we want to get a good finish. We don't want Zach to be out front leading by a lap. I'm sure he didn't mind. He wouldn't mind being out there, but
I think he would have been black flag.
yeah, you would think, yeah.
So
But iRacing does crazy things with their calls sometimes, and who knows? We've seen some crazy things when it makes zero sense.
Yeah, it's definitely, you see him go by, and he's waiting very patiently now at the back for the driver, just kind of creeping along, waiting for that pace car. But, yeah, I mean, he was so far past, and they were double wide. They would have went green flag, and he was already past the start-finish line, so he wouldn't have been able to, he would have got a black flag, probably wondering what the heck was going on. And then they would have just, maybe they would have just threw a caution and get it all figured out again, but... Yeah, here he goes now. He's so excited to be out there. There we go. Back behind the pace car, yeah. So mistakes happen. I mean, and when you're not out, when you're used to, when you get up there, you're not used to being up there. Sometimes you don't know what you need to do, or like you said, iRacing might have been calling a bad thing. But here, pace car is in. The 27 is ready to go this time, and we're gonna go ahead and get going under green here as the lights turn. The flag is flying. 27 can now get back on that loud pedal and get things rolling here and pick up where he left off. And, same thing with Scruffy Jordan. Definitely being able to pick up here and early on. And obviously you got some other drivers up there up front. It does mix things up here, Carl. So it's kind of interesting. Obviously you got some of the faster guys now need to come back up through the field. You got some slower guys up towards the front because they were staying out. But they're going to... Oh, the 55 and Brennan go for a ride.
Oh. It's not funny, but
I thought he was going to collect a lot more cars.
I could not laugh. I don't know how he shot up and down and up again. I think all the way through these cars multiple times. We'll take a look at here again and again. I think there was a little bit of that seam getting in between the seams there, and somehow shoots across in front of the cars, doesn't hit anybody. He's going to get a meatball flag, and might be the end of the night for the 65.
We need to back it up though, because that was just the end right before he wrecked. But I thought it was a lot sooner. Oops. All right, let's go here. Let's go full speed. But he was down there in front of Michael Casey down in the inside, and I thought it looked like a lot more. Gets past, he goes 3 wide, or he is 3 wide, goes to the top side. Yeah, it just looked more erratic than what I thought it was. Right there, just kind of, I thought for sure he was taking out.
Does a great job keeping off of Zane Bierman. I mean, previous races, Zane Bierman would have got collected there for sure, just because of how his season was going. But this one just avoids the 55, but then when he corrects it, it shoots straight up to the outside wall and then down to the inside wall. But somehow doesn't hit Bierman, doesn't hit Rickett on the way back down there as well. And speaking of Rickett, he's got some ground to make up right now on Mike Casey, who is a couple spots ahead of him. Again, that is your points battle. Unfortunately for Michael Rakes, just way too far down there tonight to do anything because of the internet issues. And I'm not sure if Big Daddy is in attendance here tonight. It could be why the 18 maybe not getting his wave rounds, and maybe why there's some confusion on that restart there as well. But either way, as it stands, We're going to be on lap number 100 after this. Well, we are on lap number 100 right now. We have 100 complete when they hit the line this time by. It's going to be Zach Peer, Matthew Jordan, Chris Melton, Jorge Ledesma Jr., Steve Harris for your top 5. Then you got Wielden, Jones, Anderson, Casey, and Bierman for your top 10. Hardy, Rickett, Garner, Ivy, Jones for your top 15, and the rest of the cars on the lead lap are going to be Ewell, Minor, Poland, Henderson, Hartman, and Helms. I believe, yeah, wait in here, the first one lap down. Still got, looks like Michael Rick still in the race, maybe able to pick up one more position with Tony Brennan, most likely done for the night. Tanner McAllister, Travis Noble also done for the night. But it's been eventful here. It's been some craziness for sure here at Homestead. Again, 3 races to go, with Homestead being one of them. Then we got Daytona and Las Vegas to end out the season, but we got to end this one first. 25 laps to go here at Homestead. We'll have 24 more, hopefully all green, as it looks like Rake's going to get 1 lap back here around the outside. And we'll get this thing back underway. Zach Pierre is going to be your control car once again.
Yeah, this time, so he's got the reins this time. I'm sure he was slightly embarrassed, but like, what are you talking about? I'm just following my racing.
And he might have been. That's why I said, iRacing sometimes gives, gives wave rounds and wave rounds and wave rounds, and it's sometimes, I don't know if it's their coding or their algorithm or what. Sometimes it screws up. And I mean, if you're in an official race, you're damn right. I'm going by the pace car. I'm going to line up a lap ahead of everybody. I will gladly take that. But in a league race where you can correct it and make sure it's the way it should be, that's what you got to do. And luckily we got that all cleared up here. But it's time to go back racing here one more time. 24 laps to go at the line. 27 and 23 on the front row. 49, 44 on that second row. Pace car in pit road. Green flag in the hands of Barney. Waiting for that 27 to drop the loud pedal. That's what he does. We're back to racing here at Homestead.
And gets a pretty decent jump there, and gets back out front right away. And the 49 obviously being able to capitalize on that inside line, being able to judge it. But back here with 3 wide.
Almost. Billy Rick hanging on to it.
People get so excited. People get so excited towards the end of the race, and obviously it is a track reversal. You have some of the normal drivers that typically would be, middle of the pack or towards the rear, and now up front leading this thing, and you have some of the faster guys, obviously, on, just coming back out here and trying to get in there. And you're trying to make things happen, and that's when it can get a little sketchy when some drivers aren't used to somebody diving it down to your inside and knowing what's going to happen. But they're kind of being led right now by Zane Bierman, and he's back there in P number 6. You got Zane Bierman, Billy Rickett, Douglas Ivy, as you heard, Steve Harris, Mike Casey back here in 12th, kind of a little more gentle here. Just not quite the run there to follow those other 2 through the field, but you see 3 wide there with 91.
Gets a little tight there with the 71 and 91, but they're going to make it through the corner here. But it's a wall right now in front of Mike Casey. He got a really rough restart. Not sure exactly what happened, but lost several positions on that restart. And Rickett was able to capitalize for sure, get around quite a few, got a little bobble and almost into the wall in the backstretch, but he's since set his sights on moving forward and trying to get up towards the front. He's kind of stuck right now in the position that he's in 7th place, but it's been pretty crazy here for sure, and looks like all the fans out there in CR Nation are enjoying it as well. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in, chatting it up as usual. I know it's been a little crazy with a lot of different things going on up here in the booth. Haven't really been able to chat with you all as much, but you're having fun chatting with each other, which is what we like to see. We hope you're enjoying it out there tonight. So we got 30 people watching right now, which is awesome. Make sure you tune into the rest of this week, as well as we got the Cora O'Reilly series on Tuesday. We got the doubleheader with CS as That was, I mean, I don't know if you consider that a late send or Melton just coming down to the bottom a little bit later than expected. Mike Casey going to try and avoid it, but he cuts across the nose of Steve Harris. And that is going to bring out another caution here. Big impact. Trying to avoid the slower car there. We got to have some more tore-up race cars. Looks like we're going to have Ken Ewell, Steve Harris, Mike Casey, and Dale Garner Jr. with meatballs on this one.
What happened here? But this is right there. Dale Garner Jr. just jacks the 134. And yeah, Steve Harris going for a ride.
Right now, this is not good.
This is not good for sure, but not what Harris wanted to see here. That all started back with Mike Casey, I believe. On this, I think it might have
started almost with the 49, almost getting spun by Scruffy. Yeah. I think he kind of slowed him up, and right there you see the 49 slow through the exit of the corner here after he collected the car. Great save by the 49 of Melton, but then you see right here, Casey tries to dive to the inside, but the 134 is already there. And just ends up getting hooked on his nose. Sends a 6 down there. The 134 takes a shot, and that shot is what eventually kills him. And Dale Garner Jr. on the outside right there just destroys both the cars. And Harris goes for a bit of a ride. He gets some camera time, but not exactly the camera time he wanted. But all things considered, Jimmy, considering he took a wicked shot in the side. I know he's got a meatball flag because of that left rear, but I'll just fix that left rear. Get him a new tire on there, and he's good to go. On the other hand, the car looks pretty good.
Hopefully, he can get fast repair in here and get back out there. Was having a pretty decent run. Was able to survive a lot of earlier incidents and able to stay out just a little bit longer and took. I was able to benefit here, but yet fast repair taken by the 134, so it's going to get some new tires. So maybe he'll get a chance to get moved back up to the field a little bit. Obviously, not up in the top 10 where he wanted to be, but now, finding himself back up there. But it is still Zach Pierre on the lead here with the number 23 of Matthew Scruffy Jordan. Zane Bierman trying to get back up there, and Billy Rickett there as well. Jorge Ledesma and number 44 sitting in P number 5. Richard Hartman at number 52 currently in 6th. And Scotty Anderson up there in the top 10 here tonight right now, up 13 spots, sitting in 7th. Paul Helms sitting in 8th, and Bryson Anderson back there in 9th. Had a good qualifying effort here, top 5 tonight, but has had nothing but bad luck throughout the race. And then obviously Chris Melton has made up 12 spots here tonight and is having a pretty good run until getting slowed up there and trying to collect things. And obviously the accordion effect happened, or slinky effect, whatever you want to call it. But he's currently sitting there up there in the top 10. Levi Poland, Douglas Ivy back there just outside the top 10. James Jones there as well in 13th. Izzy Hardy in 14th. Andrew Jones in 15th. Shane Wheeldon back in 16th. Mike Casey, I'm sure a little frustrated here at the moment with 16 laps to go. Back here in 17th, Steve Harris in 18th. Robbie Minor back in 19th. Ken Ewell in 20th. And then Wade Inyard at number 21 back there in 21st. So, and Dale Garner Jr., no front end on that machine here tonight. He might be done. Looking at this thing, is definitely all tore up. And the crew probably working as fast as possible, Carl, but that's about as close as fast repair.
Wait for it.
There we go.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think he had to tow back to pit lane to get himself there, and that's why it's taking him so long. And now getting the fast repairs done here, but going to be down a couple laps here as the field getting ready for another restart late, as we are down to 15 laps to go here at the line. Zach Pierce still in the lead. Is this a blessing in disguise for some of those that came into the pits right there? They got some new tires now, 16 lap newer tires. Then your leader. We'll see if they can make their way through the field quickly and safely here, more importantly. But right now, Zach Pierce leads, but Zane Bierman up in the second, Matthew Jordan in third. And you see the run here by Bierman. looking to try and get up there close to the lead. He's got 3-lap older tires, but he is certainly searching for win number 3. Not only that, looking for back-to-back wins for how the season's gone for the 55. It'd be kind of crazy to see him get back-to-back wins, but he's got a good run out of 3 and 4 here. Again, just not good enough to get to one side or the other. Jordan goes to the outside. You got Rickett there in 4th, Ledesma in 5th. Keep an eye on those drivers with those new tires, like Chris Melton. He was up there before he got tagged by Jordan. He came into the pits and got some fresh tires here under the caution, but it's a 5-car breakaway right now at the front.
Yeah, 5-car breakaway, and Scruffy really trying to make that outside work here, trying to get the run. Does get the run back there to reclaim P number 3. Not quite clear there of the 7th, squeezes him down just a little bit before he heads up to the high side, try to get that run and that momentum out of the corner. Try to see if he can slingshot himself up there to 2nd place a little bit better. And what that's doing is kind of limiting Billy Rickett's kind of run, not allowing him to run to the outside and kind of slowing him down to his corners. It should hold Billy Rickett back for a little while, but it does allow Jorge Ledesma to kind of take advantage of that as well. So now he is on the outside of Billy Rickett. As Billy Rickett starts moving back just a little bit, drops back to P number 5 as Jorge Ledesma makes it around that number 44 machine. But Zach Pierre is continuing to lead over Zane Bierman and Matthew Scruffy Jordan as people are jockeying around. We'll move back in the back of the pack here. A lot of 2-wide action going on. Back here in the battlefield, we say it each and every week, you know, it's where these drivers are going all over the place. Left, right, middle, 3-wide, 4-wide. There's that code off to Bryson Anderson in the Paul Helms Jr. And that should be another caution as Helms goes around here. But
okay, there it is. I was going to say, there it is. Finally got a caution. It took a while, but what this is going to do, this is going to add net code right there between the 62 and 64. Yep. But what this is going to do, unfortunately, for those top 5, I think they are 110% sitting ducks. There is nothing that they can do here because those cars that pit on lap number 108, they worked their way through the field pretty quickly. And, I mean, if it stayed green, they may not have been able to catch and pass all 5 of them. But now, with the caution bringing them right back up to them, I'm telling you, 19 or 16 lap newer tires than everybody in front of them right now. And for some, even newer than that. I think it's going to be really tough for those top 5 to hold them back.
I mean, yeah, it's on Levi Poland and Izzy Hardy and Mike Casey to, you know, work their way past those 5 drivers. And we've been seeing, obviously, Bierman's he was in at lap number 89. Billy Rickett was in on lap 87. So, you know, obviously they weren't wanting to see this, but this does allow those, like you said, those newer drivers. But Billy Rickett is saying, I'm in. So I don't know if this is the call, though, Carl. I mean, I know he knows his tires are gone, but this is going to move him all the way back quite a few spots, as only a few drivers kind of came in the pit. So this might move Billy all the way back to like P15. And, you know, is this going to be enough time for him to make any kind of charge to take him out or be in that top 5 anyways? So I don't know.
I think this is 100% damage control. This is honestly, as crazy as this sounds, to me that was a championship move right there by Billy Rickett, because he was in 5th place. He was going to get passed by at minimum 3, 4, 5 of these drivers, I think, on this restart. There's enough laps left to go for these drivers, the newer tires, to work their way around him. He last pit on, I believe, on lap number 87, so he had even older tires than everybody else up in the top 5. So he was going to get eaten up by these drivers. So you got to look as a driver and see.
10 spots.
Well, yeah, but now he's got newer tires than everybody in front of him, and now he can go on the attack instead of having to go on the defense. So if he can, you know, if he was going to lose 5 spots on that restart, all he's got to do is pass 5 cars on this restart and get back into that position. If he gets any more than that,
crazy the middle of the pack was, all right.
I agree. Well, he's got to avoid that incident as well. That's the bigger thing. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he stays out there, he's going to get eaten up. You just got to figure out, how much am I going to get eaten up? If I'm going to get passed by, 6, 7, 8 cars here on this restart, it benefits me to come in, lose a ton of track position, but try and get him back here on some newer tires. I don't know. It's a tough call either way, but I feel like this is almost trying to preserve as much as he could. He knew Mike Casey was right there. He's trying to gain some positions if he can here at the end. We'll see what happens, but it's still in control here by Zach Peer. And if we keep getting cautions right away, I mean, they still got to run enough to catch up to him and pass him before another caution comes out, before we see this checker flag here tonight. So it's not just all done and dusted just yet, and Zach Peer still has a chance.
Oh, he has a chance. But those chances and those patience of the other drivers are coming down to a close, coming down to an end, and then they get heightened here on these final laps. The anticipation. If I was Zach Peer, I'd delay my start here because he's been jumping as soon as they hit it, and if he doesn't delay it, he might get eaten up. And does get going here. He'll go back up front, and Zane Bierman is able to jump out there. So can Zach keep it down there on the outside? Now we know Zane's on a little bit older tires, not much, but it's going to keep Zach down to the inside. And not that it's a bad move. We'll see if that inside line can work their way up there. But the outside has had the momentum, and Zach sends it down through 3 and 4 down to the inside. And you can see.
Thoughts of 3 wide, thoughts of 4 wide here, but on the bottom of the track, Levi Poland trying to make his way up here. We crossed the line. We got 6 laps to go. Still a lot of time left in this race, and we'll see how this thing all plays out. 3 wide now for second place, as now it's going to transfer up for the lead. But you see the lap tires from 108 starting to work their way to the front. Levi Poland leading that charge right now. It's 3 by 3 by 3 the way it looks out front here. And it's still Zach Peer controlling the front of this race. Unfortunately, he's going to get net code taken out here. A ton of cars taken out at the top, and that's going to shuffle the field up quite a bit again. And Jimmy, you mentioned Billy Rickett. He's up in the top 10. Just throwing that out there. He's back up into 9th. He's got some newer tires, but this is going to set us up most likely for a green-white checkered.
Yeah, and net code was just horrible on that one. It was, I kind of had a feeling it was coming, but it was close. But 91 did not touch the 97. In 97, instantly tried to save it. It snaps.
27, yep.
27, excuse me, up into the 55. Jorge Ledesma gets involved. 134 gets involved, and able to kind of come down. And 19 has to check up, touches the back bumper of the 134. But I think everybody else kind of escapes there pretty clean. But yeah, tough break there for 27 and 55. As net code, the whammies have come out. For press your luck.
and it looks like Ledesma Jr., Zach Peer, and Zane Bierman are all going to get the meatball flag on this one. They'll get that cleared, but most likely we'll need to come in and get those cleaned up here, as we're going to be under caution. And again, should take us to a green-white checkered here, maybe an unofficial one if we get this thing rolling here pretty quick. But the way it stands, looks like it's going to be Levi Poland and Mike Casey, Hezzy Hardy, Matthew Jordan, Steve Harris for the top 5. Great job by Steve Harris there, up 13 spots by himself as well. Douglas Ivey, Ken Ewell, Shane Wheeldon, Billy Rickett, and Robbie Minor for your top 10. But it's kind of crazy how many drivers out here have been involved in an incident, or even some 2 incidents, and now all of a sudden they find themselves up in the top 5.
Yeah, I've seen Dale Garner Jr. getting one of his laps back as he goes around the pace car here, and and heck, if Pierre and Ledesma can't get back out, he can't get 2 more spots, so they'll put him back in the top 20 there for Dale Garner Jr. as he had a good start, just getting involved, something happened where I think you just had to get in the pits.
He was where the 134 came across his nose and he T-boned him.
Yep.
And he threw back to pit lane. Yeah, really. I mean, it's nothing that Garner could do on that one, unfortunately. I mean, it's the car shoots straight across in front of him. He was dead before he knew it there. But we should see the pace car lights out this time by And we do. So this is going to be an unofficial green-white checkered here. We're not going to be using up the green-white checkered on this one, so maybe not the last restart yet. We will see tonight. But it is going to be in control from Levi Pullen at the front. Matthew Jordan trying to hold on with those 92-lap tires right now. Not that they're 92 laps old. He put on lap number 92. I'll clear that up right now. But they're 16-lap older tires compared to everyone else around him. Billy Rickett has got 8-lap newer tires than everyone around him at the front of this field. But can he make it pay off here at the end? It's time to go racing here once again at Homestead. Thank you for again tuning in for this race so far. It's been a fun one. I know the pace car, I forget the pace car driver's name again, but certainly leading quite a bit of laps here tonight.
Racy Pacey.
Yeah, something like that. But it is a couple more caused by netcode, unfortunately. And last week maybe we could have blamed the track a little bit, but here tonight I think it's just these cars unfortunately are not getting the love that they should from iRacing. But it's time to show these drivers the love that they deserve on this one, because it's time to go racing one more time here. And Levi Pullen waits to the last second to get this thing rolling to try and get some kind of jump on Mike Casey. Gets a good shot from the 23 of Jordan into one. Looks like Pullen is going to be able to clear into turn number 1. He'd be able to move up. Jordan stays in third. You got the 30 of Hardy on the inside here as well. Down the backstretch side by side, the 33 of Ivy up there in the mix as well. But we have some cars going around, and we will see the yellow flag. We will get down to green-white checkered action here. That was the unofficial one. Now we got official green-white checker. We're going to overtime racing here at Homestead. This will be attempt number 1 or 2.
See, 134. And Billy Rickett getting involved right there, and so I need to stop that there and see what happened there with Billy Rickett, because obviously points leader involved here. Just I bet you any money. Netcode, boom, turns a 134 down into the
72 there of Henderson also getting involved. Looked like a little bit of netcode action there as well. Looks like through the 19 into the wall, and then the 3 gets collected. This is a separate incident while the caution was out here, and the 3 does a pretty good job of getting it down off the track, but ends up losing it here as well. We're gonna have 3 more meatball flags on this one. Steve Harris picks up another one after he was up there in the top 5 here late. Dale Garner Jr., Scott Henderson are going to be some more recipients of meatball flags. So just a rough night for some of these drivers here, as it's getting towards the end of the season, Jimmy, and the tension is certainly it's at an 11 right now.
Is that it? That's it. We got some boost. We need some boost up here, but yeah. So right now, as things are unfolding and drivers moving around, Levi Pullen is your leader over Michael Casey, and Easy Hardy was making a move towards the front there. Sitting right now currently in P number 3, Matthew Scruffy Jordan trying to hold on with them. A little bit older tires, just sitting in a lot better situation earlier on, but trying to hang on here. Up 20 spots, that's huge. But had a chance here, maybe if it would have stayed green, to possibly win this thing. With Zach here up there as well. But Douglas Ivy has made a comeback. He's back up there in P number 5. Shane Wheeldon up there in the 20. He's up in 6th spot. Robbie Miner is back up in 7th. So he had a really good qualifying effort in P number 5 or 4, somewhere in there. And has found himself in the top 10 and 7th. Ken Yule up 11 spots in 8th. And then Chris Melton back there in 9th. So some good saves there by the number 49 tonight. Zane Bierman back in P number 10. Richard Hartman back in 11th. Billy Rickett now back in 12th, as he was involved there on that one. And then James Jones and Bryson Anderson. Zach Pierre is there in P number 15. Andrew Jones in 16th. Wade Inyard in 17th. Paul Helms is the last one out there, I believe. So 18 cars on the track. A lot of drivers down in the pits. Paul Helms is 1 lap down, so just kind of keeping his spot at the moment. Definitely should have that position kind of wrapped up here for the night. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 cars still in the pits, a couple of black flags. I see a black flag on Wade Inyart. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe just came out of the pits too fast or something, but we're getting down to a green-white checker here tonight at Miami. Who will be your winner? Will it be the number 91? Will it be the 6 after taking a week off?
Flicks out.
Will Hezzy Hardy get that Razor number 30 up there where Scruffy Jordan managed to make them tires work here and get to the front here? But we're about to find out. The pace car is in and the number 91 getting ready to get on the loud pedal.
Keep an eye on that number 55 back there. He's got brand new tires on that 121. He's going to probably send it as much as possible to get around these cars as the 91 blinks out again, and that slows him up here. Or actually, do we have another caution? We got another caution right away. It looks like Wade Enyart involved in this one, and that's going to bring out the final yellow of the night here. As I'm not sure what happened here. Looks like Wade Enyart going to be catching up to the field here, and just had too much of a head of steam before the yellow came, or for the green came out, and ends up spinning out here. And we'll go to green-white checkered attempt number 2. And this certainly plays into the hands of the 91. He's got to get one more good restart, hold off the field for a green-white checkered, and that'll all wrap it up here. But for these other cars with those newer tires trying to work their way through the field, got to be a tough one here for sure. It's Poland, Casey Hardy, Jordan, and Ivy that'll line up your top 5.
And Martin back there on lap 116, he was in, and then everybody up there in the top 8, with the exception of Scruffy on them, was in there at 108. Scruffy was in on lap number 92. So obviously the tires kind of a thing, but you know, Carl, after you get through a caution after caution like this, I think that might go away just a little bit. The tires kind of cooling down, and I mean, I know they're not perfect, but I think Scruffy's going to pretty much be in a pretty good spot. Might not be able to get out front. He should be able to hold on to the top 5 here tonight as this thing finishes up. So, again, continuing to get great runs there in the number 23 at the end of the season.
Should have 2 more pace laps, this one and 1 more, and you wonder if if anybody has any kind of fuel issues. It doesn't look like anybody other than Jordan pit before lap 100, and that was on lap number 92, as Jimmy mentioned. But even on lap number 92, should be good to go on fuel. I think we've seen drivers go about 90 laps on, or 90, about 40 laps on fuel here tonight. So should not be an issue, but 40 laps from 92, Jimmy, is 132. That's what we're looking at right now for the end of this race. So keep an eye maybe on the fuel. I know we had some caution to certainly help out the fuel mileage and stretch this thing out a little bit more. And unfortunately tonight, I think it was just from drivers getting a little racy. Last week, we definitely 100% could blame it on the netcode. The netcode last week was horrible. Here tonight, it's definitely showed its face here and there, and there's been a few cautions because of netcode that may not have been a caution if the netcode wasn't there, but it's been a lot of raciness here tonight, I think, as well, with the lights out at Homestead. But it's time to get the pace car lights out here and get this thing one more chance at green-white checker.
Yeah, they need to put, like, I don't know, Carl, the netcode's so bad. I would like to say, oh, you need to put a 1-foot bubble around these things, but in some cases, like last week, they needed about 2 to 3 foot bubble. It was kind of crazy how bad the netcode was last week. I mean, it's not as bad here tonight, but obviously we've seen it live on the screen. 2 cars side by side, or one just gets kicked out, like somebody just kicked the left rear fender. So being on the outside is, kind of a disadvantage for some of these drivers. But if we get this thing back going to green, like you said, and get this thing finished up, hopefully this will be the last and final restart of the evening. We'll see who our winner is. Can they hold it together up front, or will they get tangled up? It allows one of these drivers back in the pack. You never know who's going to come through here. You've got Scruffy up there, up 20 spots. He's up 18. Shane Wheeldon up 17, so some big movers here through the night, being able to survive. But we need to survive these last final few laps as the pace car is in, and the 91 delays just a little bit, but gets a good start. Even the outside, pretty good start all around up front. But this has been enough to clear, but it's going to leave Levi Poland out front. He's got some work to do here with just a couple laps to go. Drivers shifting around towards the back, and I know everybody's kind of wondering where they're going, but looks like Zach Beer moved up in the 16th. But Casey's got a little bit of a run. He needs to set him up. He doesn't have much time, but I'm sure Levi Poland will go, wrap the rim down there. Got this Ivy up there on the wall, trying to make things happen Chastain style. But final lap, white flag in the air as Levi Poland is leading.
Yeah, the good thing is we'll see the checkered flag come out with a green flag, and better than having a yellow end this thing. But Levi Poland's going to survive the backstretch and turns 3 and 4. Casey's got a decent run down the backstretch. I don't think he's close enough to be able to send it. He's not. He's going to back up the corner, try and focus on the exit through 3 and 4. Really gets a good run, tries to get it going on the outside, but it's not going to be enough. Levi Poland, your winner here at Homestead. Second place going to go to Mike Casey, third to Ezzy Hardy. Ivy Wielden for your top 5. How about Robbie Minor coming up there in 6th place? Good to see he qualified good, but good to see he finally finished good as well. And yeah, of course, why not? Let that go after the line here, but top 6 there for Robbie Minor. Jordan, Hartman, Melton, and Bierman finish in your top 10. A pretty good run there to the end for some of these drivers, and a really good run there for Scruffy to keep that thing up in the top 7 at least with those older tires. But Levi Poland is the man that gets to do a little dancing on the front stretch.
Yeah, here's your lineup on the screen for everybody to see. But like Carl was saying, Levi Poland, Michael Casey, Ezzy Hardy were your podium finishers here tonight, so congratulations, and we'll get to talk to them here shortly. Douglas Ivy getting a great finish here tonight in 4th, and Shane Wielden in 5th, Robbie Minor in 6th, Matthew Jordan in 7th, so he will get a top 10. Richard Hartman gets a 8th place finish with Chris Melton in 9th, and Zane Bierman in the last of the final 10 cars. Billy Rickett falls back into 11th after being wrapped up into an incident there towards the end just getting wrapped up in an incident. James Jones in 12th, Ken Yule in 13th, Bryson Anderson in 14th, Andrew Jones in 15th, Wade Enyart back there in 16th. Paul Helm finishes in 17th. Zach Peer, after leading here and thought he had a chance to get a run away here tonight with a win, finishes back there in 18th. And then the rest of your field here tonight will be in 19th, Michael Rakes, Steve Harris back in 20th, Scott Henderson, Dale Garner Jr., Jorge Ledesma, Tony Brennan, Tanner McAllister, and Travis Noble for your 26-car field here tonight at Miami with 191 Motorsports.
Just waiting for them to pop in here. We want to thank our sponsors in the meantime, One Division EMS and Transports, Be on the Edge, and Kim's Cups and more for everything that they do here for the series, as we will see 2 more races here yet on Sunday nights. But for now, we also have a Tuesday night, the Core O'Reilly Series. We got the 2 races on Wednesday with CSRL and Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. And then we got the 2 on Thursday with Virtual Velocity Racing and the Core GT Series. But it's time to get some interviews here tonight from our top 3. And Jimmy, we'll go ahead and start you off with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. It's going to be the 30 of Ezzy Hardy.
Hey, Ezzy, Jimmy and Carl in the booth to copy.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, not bad. One heck of a run there for the 30 here tonight, as you gained 18 spots, finishing in third place. And I know a little bit, fell underneath the, making sure you timed your cautions right when you came out, staying out during that longer run, being able to be there, or, just taking tires when you needed to. And obviously tires there on lap 108 was a good call, dipping you into a podium finish. So we want to say congratulations, but most of all, get a rundown on how your race was here this evening.
Thank you. It wasn't too bad. Started off just trying to feel high line versus low line when it comes to tire conservation, and as it went on, just overall getting a feel for the track. But yeah, I was contemplating there taking tires at 108 because we'd had so many cautions, and cautions kind of breed cautions. So I didn't know if I would have enough time to get back up to the front. But when I had went in and took tires, I saw that the wear was probably a little bit more than I was thinking it was. So I knew in the end, if I was able to dodge everybody and kind of work my way back up, it would be the right call. And ultimately, that's what happened.
It definitely paid out for you in the finish. And we've seen everybody have some troubles early on. Was the track super loose when them tires were new?
Yeah, when they were cold, it was pretty loose until they started to get some heat in them, especially coming off 2 2 and 4 if you didn't play it right, or if you eased back in it a little bit too quick, you were going to end up looking at the infield.
Well, you weren't looking at the infield here tonight. You were looking in the stands, watching your great finish here tonight. So just want to say congratulations, recognize the awesome run that you had here tonight, and give you some time for any shouts you might have for that number 30.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yep. Definitely want to say thanks to you guys for week in and out doing this for us. You guys always put on the great production quality, and it's always fun to go back and watch everything as it happened in real time. So first off, thank you guys, and thank one of my buddies, Doug. He's always comes through when it comes to putting fresh wraps, fresh paint on some of the cars we'll be running here at the number 30 camp. So big shout out to him. So
I appreciate the shout outs as always. Again, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
It is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 30 of Hezzy Hardy. 2nd place here tonight is going to go to the 6 of Mike Casey. And Mike, I guess, first of all, thanks for allowing us to be in your presence this week. I guess, last week we just weren't good enough.
I guess. No, I didn't feel very good last weekend. You guys know me. I hate to miss any of the races. I really do. So, no, I didn't feel very good last weekend. So I hate that I missed the Charlotte race, even though after what I seen, I kind of don't feel bad that I missed it, because that was Netco Central. So I had a good time sitting on the couch with the popcorn, be like, man, them poor guys out there. So, but yeah, it's good to be back, and hate that I missed last weekend.
Well, I got to ask, considering how much me and Scruffy have been going back and forth talking about Taco Bell, was it any kind of Taco Bell related incident?
No. I'm immune to that stuff, man.
Diarrhea lettuce.
A little extra devil's lettuce, some horse meat in there, antifreeze. I'm good, man. I'm immune to that stuff.
Listen, I like to meet the person that goes to Taco Bell and doesn't. Well, let's move on. Either way,
that's a part of the experience. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I feel fine.
Yeah. If you don't, you didn't eat enough. That's what that comes down to. But either way, tonight you finished in 2nd, so obviously a good return back to the track. But it wasn't without some scares. Clearly, you get in a wreck late on lap 108. It's not exactly when you want to get in a wreck late in the race, but it kind of worked out because you got to get some fresh tires on there.
Yeah, I mean, the caution came out as we were cycling pit stops, and that put me kind of mirrored back a little bit. We had kind of a whole mixed bag of different strategies going on. It was pretty wild. But when that crashed, I got involved in that. We only run one fast repair, so you got to be careful as much as you can, but at the same time, it's the end of the race, and you got to make some moves that you wouldn't normally make. So I know I was throwing some 3-wide stuff and just trying to get my way back to where I had a shot, because I was running P2 before that caution came out and it cycled everybody. So I hated that happened. But it was definitely eventful. Anytime you get back there, it's pretty insane racing. And like I said, it was the end of the race, so it was the time for everybody to get the elbows up and just kind of send it. So very eventful. Yeah.
Well, it was one that evented with you coming home in 2nd place. Certainly a great points night. Unfortunately, your competitors, Billy Rickett, finishing a little bit rough after deciding to make a late pit stop, and Mike Rakes having his issues with the computer, unfortunately. But it's certainly going to look good for you for the last 2 races coming up here. But, I mean, regardless if you're a points lead or not, you come in to the final 2 races with a close points lead heading into Daytona. So
you're not safe. I don't feel safe at all. I might as well be in 10th. I mean, Daytona is going to be wild. The points are very close this season, so everybody's going to be getting after it. I'm hoping the net code is not going to show its face next weekend to where we can actually get out and do some racing. It'll be interesting, so everybody's just going to have to tune in next Sunday and check it out. But we were missing Daniel tonight, so we were trying our best to kind of clean everything up in the race with what we could. We have stuff set up, but we don't have admin boxes or nothing like that. So a little bit of a wild one tonight. I appreciate all the drivers tonight. We were trying our best to get everybody caught up and try to do the right thing. So we missed Daniel. Hopefully he'll be back for Daytona next Sunday. So, it was just one of those things, it happens.
Yeah, a little bit of chaos without Big Daddy here, but either way, congrats again on the 2nd place here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
All right, I appreciate you guys. We'll see you next weekend.
That is your second place finish here tonight, Mike Casey in the number 6. Last but not least, your winner here tonight, Jimmy, is going to be the 91 of Levi Poland.
Levi, Jimmy Carl up in the booth. Copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, welcome back to the booth, man. Another great run here for the 91, winning this race here at Miami, and an eventful one, obviously filled with a caution here and there, netcode coming out here and there. I mean, it was anything that iRacing could throw at you here tonight, and you're able to come out a victor. So I want to say congratulations, but give us a little rundown of how your race was and what were some of your challenges to making sure that 91 finished it up front.
Yeah, the just racing at the beginning was extremely well. We were just kind of saving tires, just racing, trying to control the pace of the race. That worked for a while, and then when Zane got by me, I wasn't quite so used to the dirty air, so I ended up falling behind, and during that long stretch, that was just slowly getting tighter and tighter, so I was like, oh, I got to pit early. But then, as you saw, the yellow came out, so kind of messed up that whole strategy, unfortunately. But then I got the lucky dog there, and for some reason, they put me behind all the wave round guys. And so then when we got, I think it was like 18 laps to go, we got the yellow there. I was like, I have to pit and at least offset myself to try to get up through. And then everybody kept sliding up off the bottom and just basically left the lane wide open. It was pretty nice.
Left you a lane to victory, a wide, there for the taking. So, and that's exactly what you did, putting your car on the right spot, the right time to get that checkered flag here tonight. So obviously we recognize your skills on track. Want to say congratulations on getting the victory here, and also give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 91.
All right, thank you. First, I want to say sorry to Zach. I think that was netcode that happened there. I'm not sure how close we were. On my replay, it looked like netcode. But I still want to apologize to Zach. I feel horrible about that incident. I want to shout out to Core Racing Network. You guys do an amazing job as always. Shout out to 191 for the league. They do an amazing league. Anybody that's interested in running, I suggest the league. And my daughter, Lola, my son, Nick, and Eli, and my fiance, Courtney, and anybody else that's watching. Thank you.
I really appreciate the shout outs. Again, congratulations on your victory here tonight. And we'll see you next week. But until then, we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, Levi Poland, as he comes through and picks up another win here on the season. 2 now for Levi Poland on the season, and you kind of wonder what could have been if he was here for the full season, like he was previously, and certainly made a run at the points title. But either way, as it stands, Mike Casey's going to carry a nice little points lead into Daytona, which is kind of what you want. You want a little bit of a buffer because you never know what's going to happen next week at the big old super speedway. But you're going to have to find out by tuning in to CRN next week, as it's going to be the penultimate round, 100 laps at Daytona. But for myself and Jimmy from the Homestead Miami Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.
Flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive in low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some. Hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. My dog, yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space, net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat, who drove through me, imagine that. White flags race live, and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody cross the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some. Hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live, and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live, and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody cross the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some, hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride, kick me out, that'll do it, back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer